This is the Happiness Project, and I am Shannon White, here today with Nathan Kohlerman. And we're going to talk about what happiness means to him and what tips and techniques he would offer you at home to help cultivate more happiness. So Nathan, please introduce yourself and what you do.
My name is Nathan Kohlerman, the founder of New Intention Health and Wellness, where my mission is to redefine human optimization through mind, body, and soul. And I am in a relentless pursuit to educate, empower, and inspire others. I'm also the co-founder of the House of Omega, formerly known as the Omega Man Project, where we are redefining and reintegrating healthy masculinity for men through experiential workshops, retreats, and trainings. And essentially, I'm a life optimization and transformation coach, specializing in the subconscious mind, health and wellness, and psycho-spiritual development and healing. So
that's quite a bio.
Yeah.
So Nathan, what does happiness mean to you?
Happiness to me is a state of being, of pure joy and pure bliss, and having a sense of fulfillment in each and everything we do. And it is a constant choice. It is a continuous action of how we choose and who we choose to be in our life.
And if you were to teach people any one thing about how to cultivate more happiness in their lives, what would you teach?
I would teach the power of inner dialogue and the language we speak, and using progressive language and progressive methods to enhance our overall well-being. For an example, with the self-dialogue and creating affirmations, creating meaningful affirmations, and asking about 7 layers of why, asking why we want to change something, why we want to be better than. If you are feeling fearful, then why is it you're fearful? And then why else, and 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 why else? And then coming to the final resolution, which is going to be the more deeper and meaningful way to affirm what exactly you're calling and manifesting in your life.
And what has that done for you using that technique?
That has pulled me out of suicidal ideation, has pulled me out of being and living in victimhood, that has allowed me to show up fully for all those who I serve.
So if you were to frame that exercise for somebody to do at home, how would that go?
So I kind of touched on it a little bit more briefly, but let's say you have something that a self-limiting belief, right? This person says, I'm afraid. Okay, so then why am I afraid? And then once you find that answer, ask yourself, why else? Why else? Why else? Why else? Up to 7 times. And instead of being, well, I'm afraid of success or I'm afraid of failure, it could be, I'm afraid of being rejected. I'm afraid of not being worthy enough. I am not afraid of letting people down, right? I am not trustworthy. I am not dependable. So instead of it being, I am brave, or I am courageous, or I am strong, it could be, I am meaningful. I am purposeful, I'm intentional, and exposing a deeper, more self-developed affirmation rather than just the generic opposition technique, but really uncovering the layers rather than looking at the polarizing or the dualistic approach, to where now we're not operating from a dualistic consciousness, white or black, we're working through unified consciousness and looking at aspects of gray.
So you start with a limiting belief and you ask yourself why you're having that limiting belief up to 7 times. And you find it peels back the layers until you get to the real kind of juice inside of that. Is that right so far?
Exactly.
And then you create an affirmation, and then you create an affirmation relating to that piece.
Yes, without using any negative statements.
Right.
Without using not or can't or won't or don't. And now we're looking at progressive language. Instead of can't, it is will. Instead of should, it is what did I do to get this outcome that I don't desire. Rather than saying I should do this, it's saying, well, what did I do and why didn't it work? Okay, what do I do now? So it's again creating a more progressive approach to the language we speak and how we approach every single action in our life.
To me, asking those whys, it sounds like going through a tunnel. Like I thought it was this thing, but really it's like this softer thing underneath is what it
Right.
feels like to talk about it.
Yeah. And I love the analogy of peeling back the layers of the onion. Even if you ask yourself, why do you do what you do in a profession? And maybe somebody doesn't know why they're a massage therapist or why they're a personal trainer or why they're a banker. But if they start uncovering those layers, then they can find their deeper reasoning as to why. And if they can't come up with a reason why, chances are they're just following some type of conditioning that was passed down in some belief system that may not belong to them. So are they truly fulfilling their deepest life purpose? Or are they fulfilling the purpose of another that was set before them?
Interesting. Yeah, this can take you pretty far, I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So do you recommend this be something you journal or just something you think, or does it just depend on the person?
So I guess it depends on the person, whatever works for them. It's very individualized. Sometimes I'll recommend to my clients that they put sticky notes everywhere they go. Sometimes I recommend that they make a wallpaper and put it as their desktop on their phone or their computer if they are working at a desk all day. And maybe they take breaks every 20 to 30 minutes to smoke. And maybe when they come back, it's locked. So they can start again reaffirming and having small reminders throughout the day, or they can just wake up in the morning if they're a meditation person, right? They can use it as a mantra. If they're using it before they go to bed, they can use it as a tool of daily reflection and or journaling, bookending the day.
Awesome. Anything else about this technique or about happiness that you'd like to share?
I think that's good.
Okay.
I think that's good to start.
And if people want to find you for your work, where can people find you?
So they can find me on almost every single social network, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, at Nathan Kohlerman. And they can go to my website, www.newintention.com. That's NEU intention. And if they want to take a look at the men's work that I'm doing, it is www.houseofomega.com, HAUS of omega.com, because I don't like to spell anything how Webster tells me to.
Yeah, why do you spell new with the NEU? I've been curious about that.
NEU is short for neuro, meaning from the mind. And the approach that I use is much more than just the physical. It starts with the mind, it starts with the behavior, it starts with our patterns, it starts with the way our brain communicates to our body, how the body communicates to the brain, and how we can start, again, bridging the gap, not only from the mind to the body, but the mind to the heart.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Well, thank you, Nathan. This was great. I'm actually going to get off this and literally go do this exercise right now. So
beautiful. Yes. Yes.
You got me.
I normally do. It's something I'm good at.
Thank you so much. And I personally work with Nathan and he's fantastic at what he does. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate you too.